Great. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me for another Chen style Tai Chi class. Let's take right hand in fist, please. Left hand straight, pulling back the thumb, feet together, hands together, and we salute. 学生好. You can say 老师好 and relax down. Very good. Let's open our stance and let's begin with a little bit of warming up. We go into the four corners and allow the spiral to flow up and down through the whole body. Remember, we really want to keep our structure as we do this, so the movement should be relatively supple. Let your breath flow. In our Chen style classes, we tend to do relatively few warm-up exercises, but we do a lot of repetitions. We'd be looking to do about 30 reps in each direction. Doesn't make for the most scintillating video recording, but it's very useful for just getting everything nice and smooth and getting the blood and the energy pumping. So this practice, this one movement, actually does stimulate all of your joints and all of your muscles a little bit. Good, let's change direction for now. Our Chen style classes though, with the masters and when we're doing full-on training weekends, we tend to do 3-hour classes. And it goes like a blink of the eye because you're focusing and you're sort of tuning in on various aspects of training. But we've only got an hour, so we're giving it a bit more of a nod to a full class. Good. Make sure your breath is flowing. It's very common to hold your breath when you're concentrating, so break that habit every time you find you catch yourself holding your breath. Just be aware of it and let your breath flow again. Good. All right. Let's come back into the center and we'll feed the weight more into one foot and we'll do our little circle. So think of sending a spiral down through the leg. I have one teacher who talks about thinking of spiraling up from the supporting foot, coming through center and down the working leg, but that wasn't coming from the master, that's coming from a student. A very good student and teacher, but not from the top. It's an interesting practice. You can have a play with that if you like. Let's change direction. Personally, I keep trying to work on keeping those hips level because it's all too easy to do this. You see that I've tipped my hip. We don't want to do that. We want to think of the hips as a foundation. We want the foundation to stay level. Good, shaking out, and on the other side. Keep the hips level if you can. Breathe. You can almost think of, those industrial cranes? They go up into the air and then they have long arms and they have weights that lift and sink. But the support always stays vertical. And the arm that comes out always stays horizontal. That's what we want when we're doing this practice. We don't want to lift the hip or tip in order to do it. Let's change direction. Yeah, there we go. Good, and shaking out. Lovely. All right, let's go big. So we're going to take a wider stance and sit back and down a little bit. And now we're going into the four corners, but a bit wider. Good. Now there is a variation on this exercise that you can just target one leg at a time. Let's do both sides normally first, and then we'll have a little go at that. Good. All right, so change direction. Again, we'd be looking at about 30 in each direction. If you want to do these exercises as just a wee workout in themselves, 30 is a good benchmark. If you can do 30, you're doing really well. If you can do 15 in each direction, that's pretty good too. Okay, so now we're going to give this a go. Be careful your feet don't slip. I'm slipping today a wee bit. Okay, so ready? So we're going to pick one leg and think of going into the four corners of that leg. So we are still shifting the weight, but we're not really going to both equally. Four corners and round, four corners and round. And this is more intensive, as you can probably feel. Let's try on the other side. Four corners and round, four corners. You're just really focusing on going through the four corners of the foot. Breathe. Very good. Much more intense, much more stamina, endurance, and strength building. Okay, so let's try now the opposite direction on the first side. So you're going outwards. Which way did we go? Do the opposite of the way that you just did. Was it inwards maybe? I'm lost. If you can work out what you did, do the opposite now. Yeah. I honestly can't remember. Too busy talking. Good. Change direction and try it on the other side. The four corners. Anyway, hopefully you're building up a little bit of a sweat. You're working your muscles. Good. So you see what I mean? It's a variation of the four corner exercise to do one leg at a time. Lovely, well done. Let's come back to center. Walk the feet in, shake them out. If you want to, you can give your quads a bit of a drum roll. Cupped hands, good, and shake out. Excellent, all right. So let's now go into this wee one, turning the center. The Chinese drum exercise. Breathe. Good, and now you've had a little rest. Let's open our stance again, sit back and down, make sure the knees have not gone beyond the toes. And this time we're basically holding the legs still. We just think of turning in the lower back, the waist. Good, again, 30 is a good rule of thumb. Good, and let's walk up, if you have time. And let's do Chen Tai Chi's sensitivity practice. It's the same movement, but now very softly, very gently, and listening and feeling into the hands. Says it's like running your hands over the surface of water. It has that feeling, you're listening and feeling with your palms. Very good. Of course, one aspect of Tai Chi that we can't really do via Zoom, if it's just one person and a screen, is to do pushing hands. Is to do the partner work aspect of Tai Chi. But the partner work, let's relax down, shaking out. The partner work aspect is really apart from the choreography and structure that you keep your body, it's really about sensitivity practice. It's about listening with your hands and with your body. That if you make contact with somebody else, literally skin on skin, if you have practiced, you will be able to feel into their entire structure. Even just touching without moving, you can feel pretty much what's going on in their entire anatomy. You'll know, oh, tension in the hip, oh, there's tension in the foot, oh, there's a bit of weakness in that leg. Whatever it is, you can feel by touching, and especially once you start moving, when you're sharing energy, when you're moving back and forth. And the touch that we do in Tai Chi, the palm touch and elbow touch, when we do pushing hands, is actually very light. It's very gentle. And the reason for that is when you're being gentle, you're being sensitive. You know the way they say, oh, someone's very sensitive. Well, you're very sensitive. It means that you're able to feel and experience the world in great detail. Whereas if you push hard, if you're holding tension, if you're being quite gross in your action, if you're being quite firm, then actually sensitivity goes out the window. So sensitivity is vital from the point of view of Tai Chi when it comes to partner work, but it's also fantastic, it's really important for our own progress when we're doing individual practice, because it means you can feel what's going on in your body, which means you can adapt and adjust to your best interests. If something hurts, it's not in your best interest. You need to adjust it until, oh yeah, that feels better. And once you do that, you know you're on the right path. So this Chen Faku's sensitivity practice is not just for a moment of sensitivity, it's actually to take us into awareness in our whole practice. Not just with our palms, but with our whole body. But the palms are full of nerve endings. And as I say, in partner work, it's called pushing hands. It's not pushing all the body parts, it's pushing hands. And actually you can listen, and you can also direct your force and your energy just through your hands. Obviously you're using your center, you're using your whole body, but you're directing it through your hands. So pushing hands, you're not grappling everything, you're just touching the backs of palms. The backs of palms are even more useful for listening than using the front of the palms, which kind of takes away, how would you say, your ability to respond. So if you're listening with the back of palm, you decide to push, you can turn your palm. You listen with the back. Okay, so let's do a little leg stretch now. So we'll take a step forwards, a little bit of width between the feet, and let's pump forwards and back. Especially in the morning and early morning, if I'm practicing Tai Chi, I give my body every chance to warm up and stretch. Not as young as I used to be, but even then, even back in the early days when I was practicing in my late teens, early 20s, I found that if I didn't warm up properly, my body did not respond quite as well. So let's feed the weight back, slide down to just above the knees, lengthen the spine, hinging from the hips. Direct your nose towards your toes. And breathe. It's your breath that's really going to facilitate the stretch here. With each out breath, your muscles will release and stretch a little bit more. Good, let's pull the toes back, taking hold, same side if you can. Keep breathing. And pop the foot down. Up you come. You can walk your feet in. It's a nice safe way, shaking out. On On the other side, please. Nice big step, bit of width, square your hips, and again, forwards and back. This is a great way exercise, again, just to get the energy flowing. Bringing oxygen to the muscles, carrying away waste products. It's just getting them used to movement. So very useful, say, after a long car journey. You can get out and do this and wake your legs up again. Good, let's feed the weight back, sliding down. Lengthen the spine, so you're not just folding forwards. You're hinging from the hips. You're not collapsing. Keep breathing. Lovely, pull the toes back please, taking hold, same side, hand to foot. Keep breathing. Good, relax that foot down, feed the weight forwards, up you come. Lovely, and you can walk your feet in or just step up. Have a little shake out, see how you feel. Stretch your body, let's lengthen up. Really stretch up and open. And circle the shoulders. Good, let's try again, let's lift up and stretch, up, up, up. Lengthening your body and relax down. This time let's take a scoop. We're doing a sort of lazy version of the first 8 brigade movement. We really stretch up, up, up and relax down. Very good. And circle the shoulders. Lovely. I was watching a wee YouTube video last night. I do like YouTube. I share stuff on YouTube and I sometimes watch stuff. And it was about what they call a dead hang, which sounds awful, doesn't it? But they were saying it's very useful, and it's basically you get a bar. You can buy bars that you put at the top of your door frame, and you literally just grip the bar and then hang. You know, let your body weight hang, and if you have the strength, you can then lift your legs up and just let your body weight stretch you. And apparently it's very, very good for you in so many ways. And I remember as a child on the monkey bars doing it and just feeling so good, you know, everything's just getting really stretched and opened. And I tried it last night because we do have a bar. One of our kids is really into fitness, and hung. And I'm a lot heavier than I used to be, but yeah, it's very, very nice. So if you fancy it, you can hang from a door frame and just for a minute or 30 seconds or as long as you like and get that lovely stretch. But if you're not prepared to do that, doing that full body stretch that we've just done, just pressing the arms up, it has a very similar effect. It's just giving that whole body a lovely stretch. Very good for digestive system, very good for circulation. It's very good. You can even, you know, Google it, look at, I'm not sure what would come up if you put dead hang. Put dead hang exercise, maybe. Yeah, but anyway, now is your chance to have a wee sip of water, and then we will get into our form. Cheers. Today I'm on honey, apple cider vinegar, Ceylon cinnamon, and what's it called? Cumin. These are all sort of weight loss drinks, but then it doesn't help that I stuff my face the rest of the day. Anyway, good. Let's come into center, please. And we'll do a few seconds of standing and then into the whole of Lao Jia, excuse me, Lao Jia Yi Lu. So feet together, please. Float up through the top of your head. The chin slightly down and back. And we'll just take a few moments to calm. As you calm down, you will notice your awareness becomes clearer. Listen to all the sounds, to the atmosphere around you. Especially listen behind you. And without moving anything, just feel to the 5 fingers on each hand. Can you feel everything evenly? Just pay attention to the 10 fingers. You may notice that as you listen, as you feel to your 10 fingers, you start to experience sensations there that weren't there before. And this is normal, because where the mind goes, the energy follows. Where the energy goes, the body follows. So let's very gently press those fingers down, as if the floor is touching your fingers and you're pressing them gently through. Release belly, hips, and knees, and step open to your left. I'm going to my left, so we fill right, empty left, onto the tip of the toes, open, touch the toes, relax the foot down, and shift your weight across. Now at this stage, we want to check that our stance is actually shoulder width, and your shoulders may be different to mine, width-wise. So you can use the image of yourself on the screen, or if you have a mirror, that's very useful too. And also, I would always encourage you to actually look down and check and adjust. Just for standing practice. Once we're in the form, don't look down. Good, and recover to center. Check posture again. Nice and light. Chin back. And as you breathe, just think of releasing every joint, releasing every cell, letting everything soften and hang down. So the top point of your head remains light, like the coat hanger. The top of the head is connected upwards, but everything from that top point can then release and hang downwards. Just give it a moment and let go through your body. Feel down over the front, down over the back, and down over the sides. Let's feel to the belly button. And just from the belly button, think of drawing a line, releasing down and underneath your body to between your 2 legs. We want to let go. Now, I have one teacher who talks about tucking. It's like you're tucking a blanket in to the edge of the bed. Your pubic bone is the edge of the bed. So you're just wanting to release your belly down inside the pubic bone. But think of it as a release rather than a physical movement. And then from the waist at the back, we do the same thing. We think of releasing and relaxing down the lower back and come in and under to that center point. So in effect, we've released both front and back equally. We've let everything sink down to that center point. Good. Let's engage. Remember, all 10 fingers, and glide them forwards a little bit. Connect. Feel the presence of the hands. One hand can feel the other one's presence, and vice versa. Good, and then just gently float the hands up. You can go as high as you like between belly and chest height. I tend to sit around waist height. Whatever height your hands float to, that will give a particular focus of energy at that height in your body. Also, your body will dictate how high it can comfortably be by the energy levels in your body. So it's like a circuit board. A circuit board will have a particular capacity. You don't try and send more energy through it than it can take. So your body is like that circuit board, but each day it might differ in what it can take. So you float your hands to the comfortable level, to the acceptable level for your body on that day. And then simply float and release through every cell, through every joint, keeping things as level as you can, letting go. Very good. Let's release, relax the arms down. Normally we would cover center, take 9 breaths, do circulations, cover center again, but we're not going to do that. We're going to float up through the top of the head. We're going to feed the weight into the right, filling right, emptying left, and close. Good. So we're really just using standing as a preparation in this class, and we're only touching on it. Remember, standing practice is a practice in itself, and it's very useful to do 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever you can manage. But you do need to build it up. If you're not used to doing it, it can be really quite tough. 5 minutes can feel like a lifetime at first. But if you do it regularly, if you do it every day, very quickly your stamina will build, and very soon you'll be able to stand for 20 minutes without much issue at all. Anyway, we'll leave that for now. Let's do the whole of our Lao Jia Yi Lu form. We've half an hour left class. I'd say we'll get the form through maybe 20 minutes, and then we'll have 10 minutes to play with our questions. I think we were looking at questions last week, so we'll see if we can further cover them today. All right, let's come over to the right, please. And lengthening up. I say lengthen, I just want you to float. The top of your head, think of it as buoyant, lifting. Chin slightly down and back, and calm down. Ready? Press all 10 fingers down. Let's begin. Turning to the back for high pat on horse. Good. So we gather to the right, circle down to the left. Left hand and foot come across and sink down, arms up, bottle opener kick, step, turn, kick, step behind and turn to face the back. Gathering up left side, make fists, turn palms, pull back toes, kick left. 3 steps, 1, 2, and 3. Turn to the right, gather in fists, drawing in and punching the earth. Good. Feed the weight back, left hand down the trouser leg. Feed the weight left, untwist the arm, sweep round quarter turn, arms up and over, relax down. Release, step right, and kick, step left. Palm faces out the first time, step back the way you came. Turning to the left, protect the heart. Bend the right leg, make fists, turn the waist, wrap around and square up, bring fist under elbow. Good. Release. Palm faces in the second time. Square up, little bounce. And turn, pushing the hands out. Turn to the back. Step to the left to gather the arms. Scoop. Lift the right leg this time. Pull back toes, turn palms, kick. Toy soldier, quarter turn, 3-way punch. And for the end of part 2, find center, punch. Part 3. Now, I need more space. You probably do too, so we'll take it. Ready? Could be a jump, could be stepped, 3 steps round. And the form now, we circle and turn to the left, turn the right shoulder back. And okay, quarter turn, 3-way punch. And this is your special punch downwards. Diagonally, good. And up. Apparent close up. Can you see? Come a bit back. Okay, ready? We make fists. gather. Now we're going to kick to come round, but you should really just kick to the back and finish the rest of the form facing the back. Let's do it this way. Good, well done. I don't know about you, I'm not really a morning person. I can get up, I can train, but I struggle. I sweat more in the mornings. Something about it just sort of pushes my body. But it's good, it's very good for us to practice at this time. It's good to practice Tai Chi at any time. So you did very well. I'm going to pause the video and give you a chance to have a wee drink and I think about any part that you want to focus on a wee bit more. And then for the rest of the class, yep, perfect, we have 10 minutes. For the rest of the class, then we'll focus on that. So have a break. Okay, welcome back. Good stuff. So we've had a little break, we've had a little think about any places that we need to clarify. Last week we clarified the protect the heart punch, this wrapping, this sort of rolling the fist round the ball and then squeezing in by turning center. But today we're going to look just a little bit, very quickly, at the end of the form, basically from your second high pat on horse. So if you just watch me first, please. So this is the way we do it in the form. High pat on horse. High pat on horse starts facing the back of the room. So I'm facing the back. And we have this move. Now, a lot of people freak out about this move, this kind of curling of the center and all the rest, but you don't have to. In fact, you can just, as Yin Jun says, you don't have to do anything with the hand there, and it just kind of soles across the liver, really, or that level. But you're turning your center, and the extending arm has this kind of whip type action. So yes, you can roll it around if you want, or you can just sole across. It's still doing a circle because you're circling your center. So don't get overly worked up about that. It is a complex little move either way, but it's your center doing the circle. Yeah, or thinking of the center kind of rolling in on itself, in and out. So that's that. You can either do it with the circle or just the slice around. Good, so you're going to turn to your left a little bit to start to cross the hands, and then you're turning your right shoulder back, and as you turn your right shoulder back, you're pushing your left heel out, you're feeding the weight back and lifting the right toes, continuing to turning the toes out, feeding the weight forwards again to continue to screw the right foot down into the floor. Releasing the left foot, right up, left down, please step, and turning center to turn arms, and we do a little circle in and underneath the elbow. So it's like going over a little hill to get that energetic connection. So now we're hitting our right foot with our left hand. We're going to kick, hit the foot, bring the foot down, quarter turn in your toy soldier position, and turning center to give you your three-way punch. Turning center, just that little rotation of center. We stamp to face the back corner, crossing the hands, and step to the diagonal. And this is your preparation for this very special punch. So the preparation looks the same. We're relaxing to center, but we send the punch on the diagonal. So the fist goes diagonally down and the elbow goes diagonally up. Yeah, so then we have a gathering. We scoop and we bring everything up and back, and we're rotating both arms at the same time. We look at that again, turning on the heel, and this is the upper punch. It's an uppercut, and it's lifting the knee width. And just not to leave you in that position, we're going to step down, and this again is grabbing the back of the head, and then Charlestoning in to apparent close-up. And this time you do bring the foot straight in, unlike the first time you do that grab the head thing. Good. And that's the section that that we were wanting to cover, and we've just about done it. Now, after the diagonal punch downwards, I'm aware that you can't really see what's happening. So I'm going to turn this business of sort of winding up. So I'm going to turn to here, just so that you can see it. So this is not the angle that we do it at in the form, but hopefully it'll be easier to see. So you've punched diagonally downwards. We want to think of this happening. You know, think of your center turning more like a donut rather than a ball. You're going through the center, out and round. Think of the energy coming in and going out. That's what we do in Tai Chi. So we're going in, out, round. So from here, we gather in, out, round, turning on the heel and up. Yeah, so this. Yeah, good. And that is, if you're thinking, well, I don't recognize that in Tai Chi at all, think back to your funky chicken. Do you remember your silk reeling too, this business and this business? You know what I'm talking about? You are turning the ball on the horizontal, but in effect, the energy's coming in and it's going out. So it turns into rather like you're wrapping around the center of a donut. Do you see what I mean? There's your donut. You're coming in and under, you're going through the center and you're going up and out and round. So as you do your punch, come in center, up, out and round, wrap, turn, and up. Watch what the hands are doing. Now, I'm not the definitive expert at this, but this is my best attempt at present. In, out, around, and up. You see what I mean? So this hand isn't just sat there, it's also doing a circuit. So you have the obvious yang and you have the subtle yin. So from here, in, out, around, and up. Something to play with. That goes all the way up. Yeah. Something to play with. Well, we have just glanced on that today, that little section. Of course, because we're doing this as a video, you can just replay that to your heart's content. Next week, how would you feel about just doing the whole form twice and use the form as warm-up? So if we're going to do that, I'd really like you to do a bit of warm-up if you can before you tune in. Actually, you know, just get your body moving so that, yes, we're using the form as warm-up, but you're not starting cold. You're not starting without some movement. And that way we'll get twice the way through, deeper repetition memory, and maybe get a little bit more time to play with these concepts. We'd better finish, folks. We're over time a little bit. Let's turn and breathe. Get our breath back. Let's go down the legs. Cup your hands. knees, lower legs, ankles and feet, and up you come. There's a sustainable living festival going on locally here near Manor Hamilton in County Leitrim that my husband's involved in, so I'm going to go and see if I can, I don't know, do some therapy for them or something. It's grassroots, family friendly gathering. I don't know what it's going to be like, but yeah. So I'm glad I've done some Tai Chi today. Hopefully I'll get a chance to do a bit more later on. Let's do some heel taps. That's actually why he's not with us today. He's offering a Tai Chi class at the festival. Oh well, more people get to do Tai Chi the better. Have a little shake out, folks. Good. And stand. Listen to your body, listen to your energy. Let's bring it back to center. Hug your elbows in. Calming down, breathing into your center. Feel your energy is stronger. Brilliant. Well done, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're watching the video, please remember to click like and share it with a friend if I share it publicly, and keep practicing. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you next time.